Hi, Elle Ingalls here at ElleIngalls.com, pressure-free.com, creator of the Pressure Free Method. And tonight my subject is, or this afternoon my subject is entrepreneurism. So tonight my husband, my son, maybe a few sons, and I are attending the assembly here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is a celebration of entrepreneurship, and we'll be honoring some entrepreneurs. And our whole family are entrepreneurs. We all have our own businesses, and they're multitudinous. So we have been in this space I've been in this space for about 10 years now. My son's for about 4 years now. And one of the things that I have noted during this time, and by touching base with entrepreneurs all over the world, is that, being an entrepreneur can be really stressful. And there are some unique stressors to what we do, some real paradigm shifts that we have to make. And I've been so blessed to have some really great coaches that have helped me navigate all of this. One of my coaches, Maria Andros, recently shared this idea that we basically move into a space where we have no evidence that this is going to work. But we have to take the action whether we know it's going to work or not, if we're going to be at all successful. So we don't have any evidence that what we're doing as entrepreneurs is going to be successful, but we have to take those steps. And that can be incredibly, that can really rock your world, because it's not how we're used to living. So if you're used to working for someone else, you work for a corporation, you work for a company, and you're typically working and then getting paid. So you'll work 2 weeks and get a paycheck, and the Social Security is all taken care of. All that is taken care of for you. It's so different in the entrepreneurial world. I can't believe really how much my young sons are taxed. It's really incredible how big their tax bill is. So it's interesting when you're in this work, because you don't have all those safety nets. You're not working for a company, you're working for yourself. And so the stressors that you experience can be moment to moment, day by day. It can be like, wow, is this going to work? All the thoughts that go through your head. There's so much opportunity for a lot of negative thoughts. And if you're working for a company too, you can have those same thoughts that, what if you lose your job? There's no job security anymore. You could lose your job, and then you've got to move into the entrepreneurial world. So here are some tips to help with some of this. The first is understanding the paradigm shift of money. So in the entrepreneurial world, you may work for a long time before you ever even get any sort of recompense for that work. So for example, if I'm creating an online course, I might work for weeks, even months, creating material, making sure everything works, all the tech behind it. There's so much work that goes into that. And then I launch it with no idea if anyone's going to buy it. And sometimes people do, and sometimes they don't. And so that's when I will finally get some sort of return on all the time that I've spent. Another thing that happens in the entrepreneurial world is that you're paid up front for action that takes place over a period of time. So that whole idea that you're, working for a couple of weeks and then getting a paycheck, that's not how it works in the entrepreneurial world. So, income can go like this, which is also something most people are not used to. So you've got to plan, you've got to watch for what's happening, and you really have to go into blind faith sometimes. Just like, okay, I've got this. I can eat beans and rice for 2 months until this comes through. So it's risky. You're taking chances that you might not have ever taken before. The biggest thing you need to work on, though, is your mindset. Keeping yourself emotionally resilient, and that's where Pressure Free comes in. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're rocky here, it's going to reflect in your business, and people are not going to know, like, and trust you as much. You've got to be rock solid in your belief. You've got to be rock solid in the belief that what you are doing is of value to the world in some form. So one of the tips that I share with people is really to strip away the things that take you away from that belief. And there can be so many things. One of the biggest things is what other people say. I've had people say things to me that would make you cry. Like, oh, how will you ever be successful with that? Or, I don't think this is ever going to work. I mean, it's just incredible what they say. People closest to you won't even believe in what you do. So sometimes you really have to be emotionally resilient about what other people are saying and really let that go. Easier said than done. That's why pressure-free tools are so important. Keeping your abs relaxed, keeping a little smile on your face. And another tool that I really want to share today is this idea that every day you spend a little bit of time on how you want to be in the world, how you want to show up. And I have a very simple 3-step formula that I share. Write your goals, dreams, and visions. Dream big. Make it super big. Shoot for the moon with all of them. Because if you shoot for the moon and get partway there, it's going to be so much more successful than if you set a reliable or attainable goal. And so make those shoot for the moon, but then make your tasks, and I always suggest to my clients to do at least 2, be very attainable. Things that you know you can do in the next 24 hours that move forward any of the things that you've listed. 3rd step, qualify everything on your agenda. I don't care if it's a doctor's appointment or a dental appointment or an oil change, whatever is on your agenda, put a word next to it that describes how you want to show up. As an entrepreneur, or really anyone in this world, if you want to start feeling better, decide how you want to feel. Decide it and write it down. Otherwise, you're going to have a crappy day. You're going to let everybody else decide how you feel. This is about intention. You've got to be extremely intentional if you have your own business. You've got to be extremely intentional if you want to progress in your life, whatever it is that you do. And so that progression, that, putting down the word that really decides how you want to be, how you want to feel, that's so critical to your success. So here are some of mine. I write the word exquisite, especially if I'm working with a client. It will say their name on my agenda and I'll write exquisite, fabulous, amazing, energized, any word that's going to decide how you're showing up. It's not about the outcome. Please let go of the outcome. Decide how you want to show up and the outcome will happen. But if you don't show up with full energy, with full pressure-free intent, then you're not going to show your best self, and and those voices are going to go in your head. So I hope this is helpful. It's really an interesting space, the entrepreneurial space, having your own business, and there are a lot of stressors. So I hope this is helpful. If you know someone who's an entrepreneur who's struggling, who's really having a tough time being successful, then please share this with them. And you can share it privately too. Just click the little link and you can do that. And I will see you soon. Wishing you a fabulous pressure-free day.